That's good.
All right, so last time we were here, it's been about a month. So, we've been playing Slay the Princess, and it's your very first video game. Do you remember anything about what we've been doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we keep turning up in this forest, and we were given this quest to slay the princess.
Mm-hmm.
We're not given clear reasons as to why, except that if we don't, there very bad things will happen. It's and we're in strange, sort of somewhat treacherous world where choices we make lead to different outcomes. And I think I've attempted to go into this jolly cavern and slay this princess about 3 times now, something like that. And I'm not sure I'm much the wiser.
I'm just going to double check because it's not showing the game, which is annoying. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. So, and we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger the last episode because it was just before our second chapter 2. So we've met the strange entity in the between place and we talked to her.
Oh, yes.
And then we went back to the woods. It was all the same but a little bit different.
Yes.
Also, okay. Oh wait, hang on. Switch. You have left, I have right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and we tried being nice to her, I believe, and then ended up killing each other.
That's right.
Which is kind of par for the course.
Seems to be.
But we will see what happens in our chapter 2. You ready to jump back in?
Yep. Cool. Let's go.
You don't have time to worry about such things. Everything goes dark and you die.
I assume that's where we ended.
Yes. So chapter 2. Witch.
Ooh, a witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. That is certainly true. Wait, has this already happened? But I died. What am I doing here?
He's gonna kill me again. I already slew the princess. Scroll down. It's sure she killed me too, but I definitely killed her.
All right.
I love that I've played this game so much that I know all the proper word for word.
Yeah, that sounds
I
intriguing.
can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
We're meeting for the very first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
Also, yeah, I've put it on auto, so now every click goes to the next dialogue, because I know that was an issue we had before, where we wanted to talk and then the dialogue just kept going,
so I've got to click it
yeah.
to get a new prompt.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I
He's just
say
doing
I'm
the
not
same
sure we
thing.
can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant
This
to
is
say
our new
that we
guy.
should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
That's an interesting type of optimist.
Opportunist.
Opportunist! I always read that as optimist. Isn't that funny? Opportunist, of course. That's very opportunist.
Yeah. You're like,
Um,
oh, I didn't realize that I wasn't playing the right side. Let me just switch really quickly.
Yeah.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why would I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Or you can proceed to the cabin. Or you can just
Oh,
turn
let's
around
just
and leave.
proceed to the cabin. It's always the same. That why should I bother doing anything is a bit of a recurring, echoing message. It never leads anywhere.
Just do the
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Says the narrator.
Says the narrator.
Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done.
That's my only choice.
Yep. He likes to play with the illusion of choice, this game.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a
isn't it
chaotic
different?
weave of
Yeah.
knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Heard that before.
Mm-hmm. So,
You
you didn't say anything about the mirror. You can approach the mirror without saying anything, you can take the blade, or you can enter the basement.
Oh, we're approaching the mirror.
You walk up to
Interesting
the
things
wall
happen in
next to the
mirror.
basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
Oh, well, now I can't see the mirror. And also, I think that's the most of my hand I've ever seen.
Yeah. So you've
Because
still
it's
got
got
that.
distinctly, so I'm still some sort of interesting creature, but it's got a distinctly female shape,
Do you think?
I think, to that hand.
Interesting.
But maybe I'm just projecting.
Protagonist could be whoever you want. So now, the big choice, take the blade or enter without it.
No blade.
Blade.
Hope you know what you're getting us into.
I have no idea. But I know that it didn't end well when I took the blade, and didn't end well in the other way.
It'll always
But
be here if we
it
need
lasted a bit longer
Sure,
when I
that was
didn't take
also
the
true
blade.
last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair.
So this whole subterranean roots landscape is
The
continuing.
weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
Or just a doorway,
Or
or the end of a tunnel.
The air
likes
smells
to
of
be
dirt
poetic.
and copper.
let him be
It's
his
thick
guy.
and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. Her voice skitters up from below.
Skitters.
Yep.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
I'm not nasty. Hello?
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Well, others don't. Maybe that never happened.
She must have you confused with someone
Maybe if we
else.
just believe.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation.
Now that is optimistic.
You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
It's really
Touche.
cute. Touche. It's really cute. There's a lot of fan art where people make art of like all the different voices and all the different like
like they
depictions of-
depict the character that goes with the voice.
Yeah. I really like the sort of interpretation of the opportunist as like a little businessman. He's always like, he's like, let's have a meeting. Let's everyone talk. And like, he like refers to the narrator as boss a lot, and like he's doing a lot of like office style schmoozing.
Does he refer to the narrator as boss in this?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's definitely got the voice of, like, it's funny, I noticed your adjective little businessman. Like, I wasn't sure whether it was literally little or, because that's an interesting thing to put with businessman. Whereas I'm imagining a sort of smooth talking, entrepreneurial type, like always looking for the opportunity, but not in an attractive way, like just in that sort of.
It's a bit sleazy, a bit slimy.
Yeah, sleazy's a bit too strong, but yes, I'm trying to think of the right word. He's got a slightly slimy energy. It's certainly not entirely trustworthy, and always out for themselves type of smooth talker.
Yeah.
Not attractive.
Whereas the hero's lovely.
No, the hero's like as self-deluded.
Do you think so?
Yes! He's like I'm the hero. Maybe I'm forgetting. Let's see.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess.
Well, that's easier said than done.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Nice
You're
for
the
you
boss.
to say, narrator.
There you go. You're the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sort of guy who would
Thank
never
you.
stick his own neck out.
You descend the basement
And he's
steps,
the
entering
princess,
the dark
the witch
room
princess.
below.
She's a little creature.
Oh, she's very different. Oh, she's got a tail. She's got sort of claws, clawed feet.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other.
It's almost like we already know each other.
Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put
You can
all
hit,
this
to be
behind
honest.
us.
Yeah.
Gross.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her.
My world. Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, maybe this isn't my problem at all.
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Sorry about last time. Look, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes. I get the sense you're not happy with me. You scared me, okay? When you start... Oh yeah, remember last time when she started gnawing off her arm? You gnawed your arm off and I got scared. So I stabbed you. Things got out of hand. I'm unarmed. That's a gesture of goodwill, so why don't we talk this out? We both died last time. Can't bygones be bygones? Look, I know things got messy last time, but I think there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up. Why do I get the nagging feeling you're gonna stab me in the back if I help you out of here? I don't trust you. Not enough to free you, and definitely not enough to get close to you. I'm leaving. Bye! Leave her in the basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Very pragmatic.
just be a load,
That
won't it?
is
Well,
why
you
you're
don't know.
in charge.
Abandoning me, are you? Fine then. Run. Tuck your tail between your legs and scamper away. You might be able to escape me, but you can't escape from what you are and what you've done. If I don't take you, the wilds will.
You turn to leave, but as you do, there's a deep, guttural groan seemingly uttered by the walls themselves, followed by the creak of wood being stretched beyond its limits. The cabin starts to get smaller.
Oh.
What the hell is going on? We're getting out of here and saving our skins. That's what's going on. As the roots that make up the walls of the cramped basement attempt to close in around you, instinct kicks in and you bolt upstairs. The steps are uneven and lively, creaking as they expand out of the dirt floor, the stairway growing smaller and smaller as you dart up towards the light. You manage to squeeze through the door just as the entrance seals itself shut behind you. The cabin is smaller than it was before, and it's getting even smaller.
Cool
and
or
smaller.
life-threatening? Although,
Where's that knife?
That's fine.
Where's that
We'll
knife?
just
Yeah.
leave. I'm sure you'd like to do that, but unfortunately there is no longer a front door. The roots have already closed over the only possible exit. What little light peeks through the holes that were once windows is growing weaker as the cabin continues to close in on itself. Shit. What do we do? As your mind races for an answer, you hear the princess's voice crackle up the stairs.
Do you hear that, you loathsome thing? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
What about you? They'll crush you just as easily as they crush me. Make them stop. You can make them stop, right? We're not animals, we're people. We can work this out. We can make things better. I take it back. I can help you get out of here. You and I, we can work together. We can be friends. Or give up and await your death. Just give up.
You say give up?
No, I'm just... That's the vibe. Give up.
It is a vibe.
Mm-mm.
Too late. We're both going to die. We're both going to die a splintery and miserable death. And you're going to hate it just as much as you hate me and I hate you.
Grim.
Mm-hmm.
The roots grow ever closer. We know. We can see them.
What about you? Oh, it's the same job. Oh wait, no, this is a new one. Come on, they're pressing in on me. They're probably pressing in on you too. I'm only assuming that because I can't see you, but it sure sounds like they are.
No, what's the matter? You're scared of thorny roots digging into your neck? Are you scared of suffocating in this dark, dark place alone? Good.
That one made me feel bad inside. I don't want people to think we're scared. Nobody likes someone who's scared of things. I, for one, think this is a perfectly reasonable situation to feel scared in. This place is getting awful tight.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Thank you.
You feel something against your back. A thick root pushing its way into the cabin. An unstoppable, unyielding wall of bark. Shit. What do we do? What do we do?
But we are animals. We are. You're nothing but fear and instinct, and that's all I am, too. We don't have to make things better. We can't make things better. We're just meant to chase each other in the dark until one of us catches the other.
You slump to the floor as the roots continue to expand into the cabin. Ugh, we're never going to make something of ourselves with that attitude. At least she isn't going to make something of herself either. At first it's almost gentle, your body being lifted delicately off the ground as the floor shifts beneath you. But the cradle of the growing roots starts to feel suffocating, then unbearably tight. Then that tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin to constrict. The sound of creaking wood is drowned out by the snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the living cabin.
The suffering is what you deserve, you hideous creature. Know as you die that you are hated. I hate you, and I'm glad to die horribly if it means you die with me. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The pressure is unfathomable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding with trapped blood. And then you pop. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I'm not very good at this.
Well, I think you're doing great.
Okay.
Chapter 3. I think this is our first chapter. No, wait. We had our chapter We Don't Know, which was the...
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third?
That's what I think.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Why does he want to know? I don't mind where we are right now.
It's paranoid again.
Rather nice. I can hear what everyone is thinking. There's no reason to keep secrets. We tried leaving her in the basement, but she made the cabin come to life, and it crushed both of us into a fine paste. And now we're here, existing. And for what it's worth, I'm with him. This is nice.
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt, but doesn't this make it all seem so small?
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste, and now you're convinced you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
This,
No,
no, you're the one reading the books.
this thing watching us. What is he? Why should anyone do anything right now? This is fine. I like being this. Why are you being nice to me? Don't you hate me? Don't we sort of hate each other? I feel the pressure of the outside pushing in on us. What are we supposed to do about that? This is how we're supposed to be, but what do we do now? Whatever we are right now is an abomination, and I want out. I don't like this. I'm supposed to be me, and you're supposed to be something that isn't me. Okay, you, narrator, how do I stop her? You can do that?
Why are you being nice to me?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
It doesn't sound like it's beautiful anymore.
Whoa, hang on!
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
Interesting idea.
Spoken like, honestly, a real puppet master. Have we considered that maybe she's the one trying to trick us?
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there? That petty feeling she mentioned, it is fuzzy, but it's there. Almost like she still hates us.
Well spotted.
It feels mutual.
Yes, indeed.
Please, stop. If you pay attention to that feeling, we'll fall apart.
That sounds good to me.
Ooh.
Don't look at it!
She's trying to turn you away from the truth. There's something she doesn't want you to see. I think you already know you have to look at it. Everyone's pulling in different directions, but that feeling doesn't have a motive, it just exists. Maybe we should look at it.
Gaze at the hatred in your heart or bury it now before it's too late.
Oh no, we always have to look at the hatred.
Don't make us remember how we were.
And just like that, you start to fall apart.
This might be another road to death, but I think I'm already dead. This is the dead place, isn't it? This is where we go when we're dead.
The chapter is called The Wild. So,
Right, she really does hate us, and we hate her. It hurts thinking about us as separate things, but we're separate. We can't hate ourselves. I love me. What are we thinking? Giving into absolute madness. We exist. We're real. We're separate from her. Of course we are. What are we? I can't remember. I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed. It was so much nicer when it didn't feel like it mattered.
Interesting dimension of the hero.
And yet you keep remembering. You remember the loathing and animosity you've shared with the princess, the pain and the anger and the betrayal. You start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you, of all things. It's like my very soul reeks of yours. That was horrible. This is better, finally. I'll be able to hurt you like you deserve. I wish I didn't have to.
Some divisions, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be.
Oh.
New princess.
At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
Kill me then, if you hate me so much. Just get it over with.
I don't like this. What he wants us to do. It's just cruel. It feels like we'd be killing a part of ourselves. Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill. Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Never wanted to kill you, not really, but we can't be the same thing as each other. I had to put an end to whatever happened to us. Cut her free or slay the princess.
Wow, I finally get a chance to slay the princess?
I know! It's wild!
Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna try.
You're gonna...
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
I'm sorry.
Never see her die. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Now, does memory return for you, Mama Query? Or do you need a slight reminder?
I might need a reminder. Let's see.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you. It's not the end for me. It's gonna be okay. Just trust me. Approach the mirror without saying anything.
Whose voice is this in the instructions?
This is us.
I'm saying, of course, you're scared.
Yes.
I'm talking to the other parts of myself.
Yes.
It's going to be okay. Just trust me.
Just trust. Just trust. I've led you this far. I'm the leader.
Oh, look, my experience has been that every time I approach the mirror, I either get information or something interesting happens.
You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us. And not in a good way. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
Voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. You need to see what's in it. You've grown.
Oh, I'm getting stronger.
Maybe. You find yourself in the long quiet once again.
Oh, my heavens.
See,
Did it really happen? I thought I've completed my mission.
Mm-mm.
I want out of here.
No. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
No, I don't want my slate clean. I want to complete the mission.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed? What does it feel like to change like this? When this is all done, do you know what you want to do? You know at the end of all this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? When I go back, it's as if this invisible... Oh yeah, so this is something that you haven't actually experienced, but it is something that is real within the game. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can't I do the same things I've done before? So in a singular run, basically, if you find one princess, you won't be able to find her again. So as you play more, you'll find that certain paths, certain of these dialogue options are going to be greyed out. That basically means that option would lead down a path you've already gone down before.
Oh, cool.
So that's what that's referring to.
Hang on. What's referring to? Where am I?
Where is it? Scroll down a little bit. A little bit more. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
So if I clicked that, it would explain that to me.
Yes. Or it would explain why it's happening. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you.
Meaning this princess.
The sort of entity that lives in this space. You've been kinder to me than anyone I've ever met. Why?
There's a lot of options here.
Mm-hmm. What do you want me to bring you next time? Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
And what's this vessel?
This
body.
princess. This princess that you've brought out. I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be. What do you feel about me? These vessels that I'm bringing you, I've hurt them. How many more vessels do I need to bring you? I'm ready to go back, attack the entity, or destroy your body.
Destroy my own body?
You can choose to.
Oh my goodness, there's lots of interesting ideas here.
And I will tell you, you can ask any that you want. So it'll basically give you the answer and loop around, and then you can ask a different question. So it's not just one choice.
With Explorers, you can...
Yeah. With Explore, it means it'll give you the answer, and then you'll get the menu back again.
Oh, okay. So they're nearly all interesting. I'll start at the top. Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Right. So the answer is yes. In the same, like, is a child the same as an infant? No, but it's the same vessel.
Everything
Interesting.
And you've got new ones as well. So new ones will appear at the top. Usually in relation to what they've just said. So everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer?
No, I don't want to ask that. I've got it. She's giving me useful information.
Alright.
What does it feel like to change like this? I don't usually ask the feel question.
Why?
It doesn't usually lead anywhere interesting.
Do you mean in this game specifically, or like generally?
Generally. You'll get a description of an emotion, but I'm thinking that's all that's going to happen here. But it might be interesting. Whereas I find usually asking people what they think or what's been the impact or how's it affected them is a richer question. And then within that, if they want to share their emotional response, they will. But in a more useful way than just... It almost feels a bit presumptuous to just inquire into someone else's emotional response. It's really sort of not my business. Unless they choose to share it.
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together.
That would be
It feels correct.
with.
This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
What's it consist of?
Well, it's the only path she knows. Well, it's consistent with this transforming being or entity or energy that we're dealing with. What she's described there fits with what we've experienced so far. When this is all done, do you know what you want to do? Split out.
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself.
Interesting. You've been kinder to me than anyone I've ever met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. This one is like a shadow of me, a memory of what she used to be, bound to the wounds of distance and time. She will make for a scarred and beautiful heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
So that's a really interesting response. She says she is something like me. Or something that... Hang on, let me find the exact history. This one is a shadow of me. A memory of what she used to be. Be bound in the wounds of distance and time. She will make for a scarred and beautiful heart. So there's something about this princess, the one that tried to bind everything together into one, which is a shadow or a memory of this entity. Something to ruminate on.
What do you want me to bring you the next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
What do you feel? Oh, already said that one out loud.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I cannot be as I was before. There are new spaces that I must fill.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking. So it's almost, it's like the message. This has been a very interesting little interlude. It's prompting me to take a whole different perspective on my quest. Whereas from within our moral framework, we tend to assume killing someone is a bad act, a destructive act. And we've had a mission framed in terms of it's a necessary bad act, because otherwise a greater evil will happen and the world will end. But now she's giving me the perspective of almost welcoming every time I kill her, because it enables her to grow and transform again.
It's also interesting to consider sort of expanding on that idea of the narrator. One of his primary motivators is that he's like, the world will end. Like, these are the stakes. Like, this is a danger. This is like, and he's very protective of the world. Whereas she's sort of coming at it being like, do whatever you want.
Yeah. And then there was that
it's paths to be taken. It's not about
and all the paths eventually get taken. Almost. It's almost implying that, like, eventually.
So the narrator's pushing you very specifically down one path, and the entity is like, you actually have all of these options.
And there was that little shift in his language recently where he said my world.
Yes, very important to keep in mind as well.
I want to see how she responds to this one. You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
So she's not bothered by the possibility that he'll kill her.
That's the other thing, is that the narrator is very, like, forceful, and she's more like, it's two opposing kinds of.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you? I already asked that.
Not in this round.
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
Sounds like I'm going to have to be playing this game for a long time.
The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
I mean, we could always choose. The thing is, we could always choose to play more than once a month.
Exactly.
That's a path we can take together.
Yes, bring it on. It was our intention to be doing this once a week, and we will achieve that one day soon.
You've got a new thing, which is enough with all of this pretension. You're not actually saying anything.
No, she's saying lots.
some people don't think she is. It's one of
I'm
one
ready
of
to
the
go
things,
back.
Yeah. So
Meaning back.
so I'm ready to go back means that you'll stop asking all these questions and you'll move on to the next section.
Right.
So you'll notice there isn't an explorer from there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's move on.
Let's move on. You want to move on?
Or hang on, attack the entity.
Yes.
Haven't they already killed her?
So there's a separation between the princesses and the entity. So there's the word you used before about interlude, I think, is really appropriate. So you've got the sort of chapters which happen in the space with the cabin and with the princesses and the knife and sort of everything that happens there. And then at the end of each section of chapters, at the end of each book, as it were, you have these little interludes with the entity. So
Right, so whether I end up dying or whether I end up killing her or we both die together, we go into this interlude netherworld between the worlds space.
Yes.
And is the entity and the princess the same thing or not?
Well, that's a question that is being posed here. So she's absorbing the princesses. She's taking them into herself. They're part of, she's talking about how, like, they're giving her perspective, that, like, and we're gifting them to her as well. So, like, she's always holding them. She's always,
and she said, I can't remember exact framing, but it was like, you could give me an ocean, but at the moment I've only got a pond. So is there any reason I want to attack the entity?
That's sort of something you can decide for yourself. Is that something you want to do? One of the things I really like about this game is that it gives you a really wide variety of options. So it accounts for a lot of different kinds of players. So there are some people who would say, you're not giving me a straight answer, or all that sort of stuff. And there are people that would be like, yeah, no, I do want to attack her. But then there are other people who would be like, I've got no reason to. So it's all about just, again, it's the paths you can take. But they're not necessarily paths that you have to or want to go down. They're just options.
I'm ready to go back.
You ready to go back?
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die.
Huh. Well, I thought I was being I thought I should have lived. I was being very exploratory and open to new ideas. I felt I was growing.
Yes.
I was progressing a bit. I just die again.
Yep.
But maybe death is progress.
Maybe.
Because it takes me to the next chapter.
It does.
It does. For next time.
For next time?
Yeah.
All right. So we will save here. And boop. Yep, so the last time we played was the 1st of December.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to move at a faster pace.
That's good. New Year's resolution. More princess. More princess! Yay! Yeah, so the next chapter or the next stream is going to open on a brand new chapter 1. And we'll see
chapter 1 again?
Yeah.
Oh, good heavens, okay.
We have to find a new princess. Are you excited to find a new princess?
Excited's not really the word.
Think
but
about
I'm up
all
for
the
it.
princesses. There's so many. I think in total there's 13 that you have the possibility to find. I want to clarify before you get overwhelmed. You don't need to find all 13 for one run of the game.
Thank heavens for that. How many have I found so far? 3?
You found the nightmare, You found the moment of clarity, which is like the nightmare part 2.
Does that count as one of the 13?
Yes. So each chapter is like a new princess. So even if they're continuations or paths towards, they're a new princess. So there was the nightmare, the moment of clarity.
The witch.
The witch.
Or there was something before the witch.
No, the witch.
The witch.
The witch and the wild.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So we found 4 so far. But we've been back to the entity twice.
Okay.
All right.
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. See you next time. Bye.